I'm here, y'all. I'm just multitasking right now. I hope that y'all can hear me. I'm getting ready to do what was asked of me. Hey, God, ISSL. I like that post you put up about building strong young men instead of trying to repair broken men. It's very difficult to repair us if we don't want to be repaired and we're not open to it. And it just takes, you got to leave these boys alone. These broken boys, they'll wake up when they see men doing their job, or they're going to get left behind. Hey, Sister Sharon. That's the Empress right there, getting work done in Northeast of Mexham. By request, this is answers to questions 71 and 72 of the questionnaire. Consular Court Questionnaire, question 71. What is your understanding of the Universal Postal Code? And why is a knowledge and functional comprehension of the Universal Postal Code important? The postal office is God in El Morocco. Islam to you, Akil. Islam, blessings to you. Hola, como esta? Greetings. Assalamu alaikum. All of them greetings. I love y'all all, man. Y'all, when y'all energies to get to popping and start making me happy, even though I be feeling down sometimes. Let's see. The post office is God. It has more branches than anything else. It has more workers, business, employees than anything else. So when you're dealing with any type of contractual obligation, you're going to be dealing directly through the postal service. A nation can't effectively operate without communication. That's why the post office is God. So let's jump right in. The General Post Office, it was created before this corporate post office. The General Post Office was between private individuals. So we're going to show you how to completely remove yourself from jurisdiction of any corporate power on how you actually would send and receive your mail. Number one, even if you're nationalized, you can do this. You own your straw man. If you read the writs correctly, it does not say that you don't benefit from your straw man. The writs say you separate yourself from the nom de guerre. You separating doesn't mean that you don't still have power or control over it. You have complete control over your straw man. Now, your straw man has now become your all caps name, comma, estate. That is an estate. All of that wealth, all of that historical documentation located on your birth certificate that traces your family lineage and all of theirs, it is an estate. A valuable, valuable estate. Whoa, boy, they don't know nothing about this thing, boy. We walking around on the estate around here, boy. It's the empire around here. We building some more empire, one consular and one consulate at a time, boy. They don't understand. This our estate, man. That be making me feel too good. Your all caps name, comma, estate. Executor office. Nation of your state. So you would actually put El Morocco. The name on your birth certificate, comma, estate. Executor office. Remember we said the reason why you're operating as the executor office occupant is to remove yourself from liability. You can't touch the human being that's stating executor office occupant, but you can get remedy from the estate. So you can deal with the estate, you can contract with the estate, but you can't touch the occupant of the office. That's a living being. The living being didn't injure you, unless they being stupid. The estate it shouldn't be injuring anybody. It should just be trading and doing commerce. But some estates do injure. So number 3 is the nation of your state. Number 4 is the general post office. Number 5 is main street. Now we're going to get to that in a minute. Any town. That's your last name, province, like your republic. And then you're going to put United States minor, outlying islands. And you're going to put near, and then your zip code in brackets. When you put your zip code in brackets, you're going to have that dash and those last 4 numbers as well. So your first 5, mine was 74112-1325. You want to put that dash and you want to put that 1325. You want to put it in brackets. Putting it in brackets removes all jurisdiction. Now, let's see here. Use the street address of the post office, not your own street address, for your general post office postal location. See, this is what the post office is for, and the reason why you use their street address instead of your own. They're the mediator between the private individual, the entity that is sending the mail. Each private being that's sending the mail to another person. Their sole job is to hold for and or deliver mail. That's their only purpose for existing. So when you come in and you say, I am the executor office occupant of the such and such estate, I'm here to receive my mail, they have to give it to you. They have to. It's their duty. It's in their codes. It's in the and she did ask me, it's in the universal postal codes. They'll go to prison or have some type of fine or something slapped on them. Don't nobody need to know your personal address or none of your private business. Don't nobody need to know nothing. Only what you consent to tell them. When you get on the phone, when you contracting with people, they want to know your business, your codes, your blood work. They want to know your phone number. They want to know the address you live at. They want to know your social security number. They want to know everything. And you giving them all this information, but they giving you limited information. When I called the Treasury Direct Account people, and I asked them at the Treasury Department, after me and him got done, I said, what's your agent ID number and what's your name? So that I could refer back to anybody if I need to deal with you. He wouldn't give it to me. But you just got my first, last name, my social, my address, my date of birth, all this information from me, but you don't want to give me nothing. You crazy. I'm getting that information about you before. Who are you? Look, I'm the executor office occupant. That's all you need to know. My private domicile is my business. This is it. This is your business. This is your private business. Don't nobody need to know your street address where you live. Nobody. So instead of putting your street address on all your mail, change it to use the street address of the post office and go directly to the post office where you domicile and pick it up. These is contractual agreement. Use of the post office street address may be considered optional, since prior to the advent of the zip code, a street address would have been required for mail to be sent to that general post office. There appears to be no reason why one may omit the post office street address unless some vendor insists on a street name and number. Now, this particular 43-page document that I'm reading from right now, I'll send you guys that. I'm not going to post it in the group because this document right here is it really is for the mature, competent heirs. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. Every last one of them, by name and by position and by administration. You do not need a post office box. No, and you don't have to pay $20 for one either. $50. They asked me for $50. No. This is not general delivery. There's a difference. General delivery is the commercial side. General post office has its beginning in Scripture and is established and continued by post treaties. General post office is the post office generally. The post treaties are general post to general post. The post office is the largest bank in the world and has the most branch banks. So we know that this general post office is post to post. The general or the post office itself is a corporate entity. We know that. How would you receive your mail? Anybody who mails you personally by your estate name that's on your birth certificate and or by your free national name, they would send it to General Post Office in your name, occupant, executor office occupant, and they would send it to the street address of the post office that you listed. Now, when you go into that post office, you would say to them, such and such of this estate is here to receive their mail, and then they'll go in the back and they'll get it for you. So you don't have to have a mailbox, you don't have to have a home street address, and you don't have to have a P.O. box. You can literally make all your mail to the General Post Office. That was created before the corporate entity that we know as the post office today, the USPS, Universal Postal Union. And that was established between individual to individual. So that's private to private instead of individual to corporate. Well, we want these corporations out of our business, out of our hair. We are a republic government. We do not need your colorable, fictitious entities to be running and roaming us around and charging us all type of fees. We ready to do it in and of our own being, without no monies, without none of this FRN notes. How do you get it done without FRN notes? Paying and doing all of this extra mess. Jeremiah 51:31. Jeremiah 51:31. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. Whoa, boy, hold on. Let me get it in again, because the king of Babylon didn't think the Moors was going to wake up. The Moors woke up, and they taking back their estate. So, you know, it hit home. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. Now, I've been in the scriptures for about 20 years. I just started getting away from them, and you're going to hear me quoting them a lot because the Spirit brings them up when I'm talking. As I Postmaster General, yes, General Post Office is where you're going to have all this mail sent. You're going to hear me start quoting when the Spirit start bringing to my remembrance as I'm studying the Quran now. So you'll hear all type of religious texts out of me. Just let it be an edifice to you. A post is another name for courier. The definition of the word post originally meant at any of a number of riders or runners posted at intervals to carry mail or messages in relays along a route. Post rider or courier. Webster New World Dictionary, 3rd College Edition, 1988, page 1054. The posts were originally set up for governmental purposes between different rulers in their own country as well as neighboring communities. Whoa, let me say it again. The posts were initially set up for governmental purposes between different rulers. Let me tell you something, heirs. That's what you are. Whoa, boy, you rulers. You kings, you gods, you queens, you empresses, you emperors, you rulers. You run this nation, El Morocco. Ooh, with the 5 pillars of light, that is. I had to block somebody the other day. If you on this feed, if you in the consular courts, if you put any negative energy out, you're getting blocked. And we're going to make sure as many people can block you as that's associated with the group and with the family as well. We do not need no negative energy floating around when we trying to build consular courts and we trying to build Al Morocco up. We don't need that. We need unity and we need family. How to spot. I'm getting with you. There's things that's hitting me as I'm going, Sister Sharon. I'm almost done with it. How to spot COINTEL pro operatives in your groups and in your Facebook page. If these people are always asking questions or telling you that something ain't happening right after you've done all you can to help them, and you've shown them the way, and you've posted videos, and you've done everything, if they keep on saying over and over and over, something wrong, something ain't happening, they distracting you. They COINTELPRO-operatives. They trying to stop you from doing what you're doing. Okay? If you get people slandering somebody, and I got to apologize to some of the emperors and empresses on here. I was getting on them about charging, and I realized, okay, I'm not charging for nationality. In the group, it's there for free for anybody to do. And there's videos and everything on how to nationalize. But I am requesting for the services that I provide a love gift. That's it. But I heard other members and other people charging, and other Moors. Some are fake. Some got fake schools, fake videos, fake everything, and they charge you and $1,500 and then be a street in your state. Yes, Rachel, you cool. You free to do as you please in the group. I love the organic alkaline diet. I love a way to grow our own food to be able to take care of ourselves. This ain't no grocery store. That is a disease center. It's a way for you to go and eat genetically modified organisms and get killed and kill yourself. That's it. Those ain't grocery stores. That ain't real food. That ain't nutritious. That's grown in petri dishes. It's all grown in petri dishes and with chemicals and through processes. It ain't even grown in the ground no more. It don't come from real dirt no more at all. So, we got to learn how to grow our own food, take care of our own self. COINTELPRO-operatives. They slandering you. They putting misinformation in. They telling you things ain't working. They ain't building. If it ain't civics and jurisprudence, if it ain't governmental structure, republic government, if this information ain't the acts of Noble Drew Ali and what he did, caveat emptor, what he did, proclaimed his nationality, if they ain't preaching and teaching about what he did, then they probably COINTEL. And the reason why I say that is because what he did is how we're all able to get our vast estate. All of his laws, the civics and jurisprudence, Marcus Garvey, and the whole CMB, everybody that was with him and for the movement, that's what we need to be teaching on. You as well, Amaru L, you a master as well, in and of your own person, in and of your own being. I greatly appreciate you. Hey, Kat, good to see you. The posts were initially set up for governmental purposes between different rulers in their own country as well as neighboring countries. But there was another entity known as the General Post Office, which was not for commercial purposes and was strictly for fellowship between brothers, and they did it among themselves. Paul's letters were not delivered by Caesar's men, but by brothers in Christ, and that is the General Post Office. Throughout history, there has always been the General Post Office and the Governmental Post Office, and they're different. One strictly for fellowship and the other for commercial purposes. So now, us Moors, since we're completely removing ourselves from being dependent upon the corporate entities that exist, we're going to communicate brother to brother, sister to sister, consulate to consulate, consular to consular, through the General Post Office. That's how we're going to communicate. Because if we send our mail through this corporate entity, and they really wanted to get jazzy, you know what I'm saying, and open up our mail, which is a federal offense, but trying to find out what we're doing and how we operate and growing and building, then that's COINTELPRO-operatives. They trying to get our information. We can't have them doing that. No. Kimberly, it's good to see you. Tracy, if you're getting on, I thank you for your love gift. Y'all helping me get established and stable as a consular and as a consulate. I chose to do this full time. I'm not going back to being a corporate slave. So in the last 90 days, we done brought in about $1,000 in gifts, 1,000 Federal Reserve notes in the last 90 days. And I know how to live without FRN notes, so it's okay. Blessings to you too, Noble. I appreciate you. Okay, the current postal system, which is known as the United States Postal Service, is commercial. but it still retains the non-commercial aspect. It's based on the original General Post Office. It does not exist without tracing its roots to the original General Post. And as with everything, the created cannot do away with the creator. Therefore, that original creation by the brothers, fellowshipping among each other, is still in existence. They've never done away with it. In all their statutes, every time they come up with a new statutory entity, they never do away with the General Post Office. Therefore, it still exists. Now, when I went to, if I can transfer that crypto in FRNs, if you could show me how to do that, yes. I love you very much. I thank you. It helps me do what consuls need to do. Stay online, keep the phone up, communicate, transportation, whatever it is. I went to the post office to do this. The postmaster general, or the whoever the supervisor was in there, she tried to tell me I couldn't. Until I gave her this document and I showed her what these things are and the truths and the dates and about its existence. She didn't even know this history of her own post office. You work for the entity, you work for the people, and you don't even know the history of the organization you're working for. Something wrong. That means you in breach. You violating your duties. You don't even know the codes that govern and do what needs to be done. Oh, no, see. And most of them don't. You dealing with operatives who don't even know their own duties and law.
Huh?
That's my sister-in-law, and my nephew. He's running around acting crazy right now. So yes, every single more, please remove yourself from jurisdiction and go change your post address to the General Post Office and use not your private address. Use the street address of the post office. Only my consuls are getting this documentation, this 43-page executor operation letter. Only the consuls are, until we can guarantee that the people coming in are competent and they're standing in the 5 pillars of life. We can't risk it. We don't want no blood on our hands, because people get this information and they just go nilly-willy with it and be doing all type of stuff. You know, you could get your family members out of prison as an executor immediately. You could walk into the prison and say this is a state property. You can go to the sheriff and the owner and the landowner and the probate court and the court administrator is the only one you need to be dealing with. You can bring an estate letter to them and say that they confiscated estate property. The person that they confiscated, yes, we know that's a living being, but they look at every human being as a corporation. So the corporate person in there is estate property generating wealth for whose estate? Well, the owner who owns the prison. We all know that it's about 20 to 30,000 FRN notes per year for each prisoner that's in there. All the Moore's family members is wealth, generated wealth for the plantation owner, whoever owns that private prison. So when you go to probate court, that's who you're dealing with, because they deal with estates, and you go to the court administrator of the probate court and you say this specific entity, this sheriff, this corporate entity, this owner has estate property in their possession and they're injuring my estate, then the probate court administrator will demand the release of your loved ones, especially if they're in there on some BS. They locked me up one time for not having my permission to travel slip on me. They locked me up for that, not having it on me. I told them I had it, but I left it at home, or my wallet was gone or something, and they locked me up for that. Oh, but ain't in the turn of events. They used to put my fingerprint on their documentation to keep track of me and take away my estate. Now I put my thumbprint on mine to let them know, God in the building, estate, heir in the building. Now I put that same fingerprint that they used to identify and esteem my estate, I put it on my affidavits, my writs, and my executive letters, and things get done. Boy, good. I just went to another level in the ether realms right there, boy. What you saying to me? Don't touch the estate. Don't touch the heirs, man. Yeah. Yeah, my sister. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she is. She is. She be cooking, taking care of the baby and everything. This next generation is doing a lot better, I feel. Therefore, it still exists. The General Post Office is not mentioned in the Domestic Mail Manual because the Domestic Mail Manual denotes commerce. That's why it's not listed. It denotes commerce. Everyone's presumed to be in commerce. Why is everybody presumed to be in commerce? Because they're all estates. Because they're all corporations. But it's only a presumption, and that's where you come in to rebut that presumption. You rebut it by not engaging in commercial activity and not receiving your mail at an address, etc. Most people don't realize that when you receive mail at an address or even a P.O. box, you're receiving a free benefit from Caesar. That's who put it up. That's a free benefit from Caesar. He want to know where you at. Everybody say that. Everybody keep telling me, oh, be cool and slow down and do all of this. You giving too much and all of that. Render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's. That's what they keep on saying to me. Caesar don't own nothing. He not of mine. I don't know. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I just get that. Look, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. What is his? Please tell me. It ain't nothing of mine. So he ain't get nothing of mine. Not my tithes, not my land, not my people, not my nothing. Not a seed, not a stitch of dirt in my ground. He ain't get nothing. So whatever is his, he can have. I'm not giving it to him though. Shoot. Tired of them people saying that to me. All these cliches in the churches when I was growing up. Went to hundreds of different churches. Went to the mosque. They told me Allah would forgive me for my sins. Went to the church. They told me Allah would, Jesus would forgive me for my sins. Read in the Septuagint. Read in the Old Testament. All of these things. Look, this is dogma. Religion is being taught. Realign with your ancestors, with your forefathers, the history of them. That's real religion. Cosmology, cosmogony, astrology, real religion is being tied back into your bloodline. The history of how they used to do things. When they used to take the herbs and mix them together. And they said that was evil. And it was witchcraft. When they look at the books. Oh, I remember this time I was dealing with this person from the temple. He say, he corrected me because I misquoted something Noble Drew Ali said. And he say, this is a divine warning. I say, are you divinity to warn me? Excuse me, brother? And I said a few choice words, and then I blocked him. But then I felt this pressure in my spine for like 2-3 days after I blocked him. And I said, show me what it is, mother. Show me what it is. What's going on? I said, why is this pressure on my spine like this? Then I went, she led me to this 4 Vedas, this Vedas. And when I looked, it was a spell on people's spines in the Vedas. I said, that's what that brother did to me. I said, he must have tried to cast a spell on me or something. I said, look, I said, it's got to release. I said, the energy's got to release it. Next thing you know, I saw this vision in my head, bright light, the all-seeing eye. She was talking to me. I don't know how it happened, but the pressure on my spine released. They be using those books. They be using those spells. They be using all of their wisdom to get at you. You got to keep your frequencies up. You got to keep your frequencies at 528 or higher. Oh, yeah, you just got out of Facebook jail? Hey, bro, I'm good. Look, I'm live right now. Come see us, bro. I'm telling you right now. They probably blocked you because you was sharing that truth, boy. That's why I'm trying to get this website up so y'all know if they shut me down or stop me, y'all have that website. Incorporeal. You have to look at the definitions between incorporeal and corporeal. Grand rising to you, delay. Peace to you. Shalom to you. Islam to you. Hey, church is a corporation. 501c3 is a corporation. That's right. You giving your FRN notes to a corpse. They dead. They shouldn't even have, and the notes is dead too. All of it. There were actually 2 different General Post Office. The Postmaster General today wears about 7 hats as about 7 different entities to the postal system exist. He wears the original hat as the caretaker of the original post office. He's also the caretaker of the General Post Office that was created February 20th, 1792. Get that date. The General Post Office was created February 20th, 1792, which was for governmental business. The Act of February 20th, 1792 made detailed provisions for the post office and also established a separate general post office for governmental purposes. It's still two. The preacher is the CEO. Yes, he is. My old church, where the guy excommunicated me and told the people I was crazy, is, if you in Oklahoma, it's called Real Church. It's located on 4th and Sheridan. His name is the name of an apostle. He calls himself an apostle, Scott C. Lovett. I got in a conversation with him, and I told him I'm going to take all my contracts off of everything I've ever wrote in the church. I told him I don't want my name on anything. He refused to give me the contracts. He refused to give me signing up as a deacon. I was on my way to being some type of, church minister or whatever. And when he refused to give me the contracts, he said, "They own you." I said, let me research who this they is, what this they means. This preacher at this church just said they own me. I said, I thought I owned me and my creator. I said, hold on a minute. My creator gave me free will, and in and of my free will, my creator is saying, I'm authorizing you to own yourself in your free will. My creator's free, my will's free. How you gonna go to hell for not choosing a being that gave you free will? Don't that sound crazy? You gonna spend eternity without the being that gave you the free will in the first place to be able to choose whatsoever. Your morality is your own. Don't let nobody beat you down because you believe in whatever deity or you practice in however. These are civilizations expressing themselves concerning their perception of their own deity. Don't be knocking nobody. Oh, girl, I love you too, man. We getting it in. Yeah, get them hearts up. Get them. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Chapter. Now, I don't know these Roman numerals, but it's V123. An act to establish the post office and post roads within the United States, Section 3. And it be further enacted that there shall be established at the seat of the government of the United States a general post office. Whose government? Our government. What government? The Republic government. Okay? Consular courts. Consuls. Consulates. Listen, if the churches ain't doing it, if the mosques ain't doing it, if the temples ain't doing it, if the John D. Rockefeller miseducation centers aren't doing it, let consulate do it. Let the consulars do it. Let Consular Courts Article 3 do it. We gonna get it done. We study this law, we breathe it, we live it, we consume it, we disperse it. And we using it to deliver all the mores and be removed from this de facto, there's a word for it, democracy, platform, slave drive. Yeah, he's slave driving. They all go in, they crying because they broke, busted, and disgusted and hungry. They get feel good for about 2-3 hours of dancing, singing, and praising. It jukes that energy up. You want to know what the word Jesus really means? Even though his name is Yehoshua ben Yusuf, he is the great-great-grandson of Ruth the Moabitess, and he's a distant cousin of Muhammad, the founder of the Islamic religion, and he greeted people, Assalamu alaikum, that is his native tongue, Aramaic or Aramaic, and Abba means O birther. When you say Abba, it means father in Hebrew, but it means O birther in ancient Aramaic. So, you take it as you want to. The word Jesus is a code word. Justice. That's right, babe. The code word, if you look in Wiktionary and you type in each letter, J-E-S-U-S, they're all going to have electrical connotations to them. J for jewel, E for energy, S for a specific chemical. Now, since words have mathematical equations, and so do letters, when you hear the word Jesus, it has a mathematical equation connected to it. It's a code word that touches your eardrum and your pineal gland. It energizes. So that's why you feel the way you do when you're hearing that name. That's it. And it's been beat into you over Wiktionary. Yes, Wiktionary. Wiktionary. That's a source that I be using. It's like Wikipedia, history or whatever was Wiktionary. It's like an encyclopedia for words. Now I typed in letter by letter his name. Use the General Post as our banks for the estate. Yes, we can do that as the bank. So all contracts go there. This one-page statutory creation by Congress established that General Post Office for governmental business at the seat of government of the United States in Washington, D.C. And the General Post Office, which already existed, was never designated as being repealed in this act. So they never did anything with the General Post Office between private and private. So mores are going to be using this now. Has not been repealed in any acts that follow. Therefore, it still remains in existence, separate from governmental business set up by this act. So when we're declaring, when we're mailing affidavits, when we're decreeing, they're not getting it from a private address of our home to be able to try to send some agents and some black coats. Because when you get into this type of information and you start really delivering people the way that you're supposed to, not just running them around in circles, you in a group with 6,000 members for 8 months straight. The girl said, Islam family, she said, I've been in this group for 8 months straight and I still don't know what direction to go. With 6.5 thousand members in this group and all of those documents and all that information, and not one of the 6.5 thousand members is directing a end game. Oh, thousands of forms, thousands of hours. Going to the post office, going to the IRS, being on line with all these people, doing all of this stuff. No, man, I ain't going. I ain't going, boy. You ain't about to be having me run around looking crazy. I'm sorry. Took me 5 months straight. And I did. I got a lot from everybody, but I quit arguing with people and I opened my mind up and I found out what worked for me. And I wasn't thinking about no selfish gain, trying to get things from what I was getting. I was just trying to figure out how to help the people. Everybody. That's all I was studying for, how to help the people. Know yourself and love the Moors. Today the stamp on an envelope pays for delivery of that envelope from the sender's post office to the receiver's post office. It does not pay for the cost when that envelope leaves the area behind the clerk's desk and gets delivered to the receiver's address, mailbox, post office, mail slot, etc. This is a free service. The alternative to free mail delivery is to receive all postal matter either in general delivery or through General Post Office. Bam. So, Sharon Gale, I love you very much as well. I thank you for your energy and getting me on deck and keeping me working, because that's really what keeps me sane is when I'm working and I'm studying. It's just a lot of people around me and a lot of energy around me that don't want this to get done. So, you know, I was in one location. I came to another location. I'm chilling at that location. I'm getting ready to relocate again. And when I do that, as soon as I get the Wi-Fi up or the internet, I'm going to be right back at y'all. So I'll keep you informed. That is question 71 and 72 of the, yes, as I help your people. Yes. I'm making an effort to do that. I found that I was spending more time giving to the people than my own process and things I needed to complete. Because I'm not completely in a chosen, specified domicile where I can receive this General Post Office. There are some things that I still need to get done, but we working. I think it's in Divinity's time frame. I think all that's supposed to happen for me is going to happen at the exact and perfect time. So however it lead, I'm just going with this flow and getting it done. I appreciate y'all love. You submit me questions, Lady Sharon, Empress, and I'm going to go ahead and answer them so we can get through this consular courts questionnaire. And by December, which is our date for the next goal that we have, we can go ahead and be on track for that next date. If you are the woman that was on the conference call that said that you're, I believe, in Haiti and there are 150 million undeclared nationals, I need to talk to you. We need to talk to you because we're going to nationalize the consuls, and all the republics are going to nationalize all 150 million undeclared. I'm telling you. So if you see this and you that woman that was on the conference call about nationalization and needing help and 150 million undeclared nationals, let us know. Get up. Jared Jade, I will privately consult with you on how I am personally setting up my own consulate. I still have to get with my officers, my jurists, to see what they want to do with that. They're above me or ahead of me. I answer to them. The whole common consensus is me doing what they need to get done. I'm here to support and establish them. So however they tell me to set it up, that's how I'm going to do it. Y'all got my love. We in the Zodiac Constitution again. We're going to go over a lot of the same material as newcomers are coming in until we get it. I love y'all. I'll be with y'all.